called Dirty Harry. In a specially made film, the Atomic Energy Commission assured them the fallout was quite safe.
As this thriving community went about its business, youngsters on their way to school, housewives starting on the chores of the day, merchants opening their doors, the folks at home listening to the radio program.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news. Word has just been received from the Atomic Energy Commission that due to a change in wind direction, the residue from this morning's atomic detonation is drifting in the direction of St. George. There is no danger.
1 hour and 50 minutes later, at 11:25 a.m., the all-clear announcement was broadcast. Actually, when the invisible cloud had passed, the total amount of radiation deposited on St. George was far from hazardous. Then you may ask, why were the people asked to stay indoors? For a very simple reason. The Atomic Energy Commission doesn't take chances on safety.
Sheldon Johnson believed the official reassurances. He'd come home to St. George from the war and married.
We felt in the 50s and 60s that atomic energy was the greatest thing that ever happened, and we were part of it, and it was just a blessing in our lives. And besides, more motels were filled by people coming through, and more cafes sold meals, and it was a prosperous thing, and we needed that kind of a boost in the economy. And so we thought the atomic testing was great for St. George at that time.
The International Conference on Peaceful Uses of Atomic Energy is the first of its kind ever held.
In 1955, 73 countries met in Paris. World leaders pledged to move away from weapons of mass destruction and toward peaceful uses of nuclear science.
The United States pledges before you, and therefore before the world, its determination to help solve the fearful atomic dilemma, to devote its entire heart and mind to find the way by which the miraculous inventiveness of man shall not be dedicated to his death, but consecrated to his life.
People were promised the future could be brighter, cleaner, cheaper. They were encouraged to marvel at the atom.
When did all this begin, Dad?
Well, son, it's a very old story. It's so old it's hard to say when it really began. Could have been back in 1540 when Copernicus identified the Earth as a speck of dust moving in an orbit around the sun. Or it could have been in 1905 when a young German physicist arrived at a fundamental truth, that matter could be converted into energy and expressed it in the equation E equals mc squared. Somewhere in the course of these events, the dawn came up on the atomic era. It's going to have a tremendous effect on our town down there, son. Not because we have a lot of heavy industry. That doesn't matter. It'll be felt in every town in America. And it won't matter if they make ships or shoes or sealing wax. The many uses of atomic energy now and in the future will change not only the things around us, but our very way of life.
You know, I don't know what I'd do without my new kitchen. Really, it saves me hours of work every day. But do you suppose that our appliances would run as well on atomic energy?
The first country to feed electricity from an atomic power station into people's homes was Britain in 1956.
For many years now, we have been aware that atomic scientists, by a series of brilliant discoveries, have brought us to the threshold of a new age. We have also known that on that threshold, mankind has reached a point of crisis. Today we are, in a sense, seeing a solution of that crisis, as this new power, which has proved itself to be such a terrifying weapon of destruction, is harnessed for the first time for the common good of our community.
The Queen then moved a lever, releasing atoms.
Governments were quiet about the fact that the early power stations also made plutonium for bombs. There was no slowdown in weapons research. A year after the United States built the more powerful H-bomb, the Soviets had caught up.
И мы вызвали в мир кошмар ядерного оружия. Но во имя защиты социалистической революции, нашей свободы и процветания, мы в свое время до Московского договора 1963 года создали и
We must learn to live in a world where we have the hydrogen bomb and the enemy of freedom has the hydrogen bomb. It can destroy any city. That means Fort Worth and Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Amarillo, El Paso, yes, Johnson City.
As both sides ordered more warheads, they realized that each now had the ability to destroy the other, and could in turn expect to be destroyed. Retaliation was guaranteed. This strategy was known as mutually assured destruction, MAD.
In the olden days, pre-nuclear weapons, the politicians could start a war, send out young people to kill each other, and nothing would happen to them. It was a no loss, so to speak, as far as their own lives or their families or their properties. With a nuclear weapon, everybody was at risk.
Both sides prepared for Armageddon.
Imperialism and madmen still exist, and their adventuristic plans threaten to plunge mankind into a new world war. The aggressor should bear in mind that if they start a war, the Soviet armed forces will retaliate with a swift, crushing blow.
It's an effective intercontinental nuclear air force, secure as we can make it within our resources. A sizable portion of it is secure from destruction by the enemy, regardless of what offensive and defensive action he takes against it. The size, composition, and alertness of the offense force is such that the enemy realizes that an attack on the United States would likely mean committing national suicide. Nobody wins in nuclear war because both sides are sure to suffer terrible damage.
In the Soviet Union, Europe, and the United States, citizens now lived in a heightened state of nuclear terror. Russian bus passengers were told what to do if attacked.
Товарищи, не волнуйтесь. Во время воздушной тревоги весь городской транспорт выходит за черту города, где жители будут в большей безопасности.
In the United States, school children were taught simple survival tips.
Dum-dum, diddle-dum-dum, there was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know this. No matter where they go or what they do, they always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do. Duck and cover. First, you duck. And then, you cover. You duck and cover tight. Duck and cover under the table.
It's a bomb. Nothing can cover.
He did what we all must